Hey guys, welcome to the session. Just give a couple of minutes for others to join in, and we'll kickstart the session. Hey guys, can you quickly confirm me? Do you guys able to see my screen and able to hear me properly?
Yes.
Yes, we're good.
Yes.
Thank you for confirming, and welcome to the session, guys. Good morning or good evening, wherever you're joining from. And we are in the course of Gen AI and Agentic AI course. And as a quick starter, I would like to know. I would like to ask a riddle. Get ready for that. I fly without wings, I cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows. What am I? Fly without wings, cry without eyes, and darkness follows.
Clouds.
On spot, Manas. That's correct. So the answer is cloud. And then technical checks are done. I am able to hear you, you are able to hear me, you're able to see the screen, and that's good. Let's get into the session. And as you guys know, I'm Prashant, and I'm the trainer in for Gen and Agentic AI course in KSR Institute. And yeah, our main goal is to grow the student from beginners to champions. So as part of day before yesterday class, we have looked into how to install the Jupyter Notebook in our local system. We looked into what is the Python, what is the growth of the Python, and why it is important to learn Python, right? And yesterday we looked into some ideology behind ChatGPT. What are the benefits and what are the features, the best features, the top 3 best features we looked into with the help of ChatGPT, how we can utilize those features. And we looked into what are the limitations, the top 3 limitations with ChatGPT, because those are important things we need to know. Because as we are traveling towards agentic AI, we need to know all those things. So then only we will be able to eradicate those limitations and build some beautiful products by overcoming those limitations. If you have any questions on day before yesterday or any doubts, right, you can ask me before I start the today's session. Okay, assuming there are no questions, so we'll start the session. So today, mostly we'll understand how we use Jupyter IDE and how we can start Python code in IDE, Jupyter IDE. So I expect you guys to have I expect you guys are sitting before system and you are able to launch Jupyter notebooks because yesterday also a few people has resolved their issues and everyone is able to open the Jupyter notebooks. So then we are good to start, and we'll start like what is identifiers. So I mean everything, right? Everything or every person have their own name, unique name, right? If it is a name is common, maybe with the help of the last name, we'll be able to differentiate. So identifier is nothing but a unique item to specify something, right? If I talk about name for person name, it is a unique identifier kind of stuff where I can, with the help of first name and last name, I'll be able to identify a person with a unique name, right? So in Python, we have names for the functions, variables, classes. We'll explain what is functions, all those stuff in further classes. But right now, try to understand like we do have three things to name in our Python. I mean, the majorly in if we see high level class names, function names, and variable names. And these names have certain naming conventions which we need to follow. So one of the rule is identifiers cannot start with numbers, right? Even our names also won't start with numbers. And the special characters are not allowed. And reserved words are not allowed. Because in Python also there are particular certain functionalities which is predefined and those have certain names. So we cannot use those names because that is used for different purposes. We cannot use those names for our purposes. We'll see like what are those names, what are the keywords which in Python, and identifiers are case sensitive. This is one more important which you need to know. Identifiers are case sensitive. So we cannot mix small letters with capital letters. It is unique its own way. Right. So there was a question in the chat like what is reserved keywords, right? So as every programming language, they have its own functionality. I will show in further slides what are those keywords. So we do have in Python also we do have certain functionalities, and to represent the functionalities, it has their own identifiers. That means those are reserved names, which is created by Python. Those names we cannot use it for our user-defined functionalities. That is the only thing we need to remember. Okay, thanks for confirming. And now let's look into the Jupyter Notebook and how we can use it. So as you guys has already installed it, so I will open this. So I have my project files in D drive, and the path, I will provide the path. I have jumped into the path, and here I need to type the command as Jupyter Notebook. After pressing this command, a browser will open where the Jupyter Notebook is launched. And if you remember, we have just created day before yesterday a Python file. I will continue in this because we haven't discussed much. And I'll quickly cover a few items because yesterday a few people asked me to cover those things what we discussed in day before yesterday. I mean, very few things. So which we would like to know. So first of all, when we launch Jupyter Notebook, we'll land into this page. So basically, this is a folder where our project files are there. And from here, if I want to create a new Python file to start coding, right? I will be clicking on new Python 3. And if you want to give a name at the top after the Jupyter logo, you can click and you can specify the name. If you specify the name, then you will be able to change the name and you can click on rename and that will be renamed. And we can also see the file which we have created in the folder in IPYNB. Is everyone able to launch the Jupyter Notebook and able to open this? Does you guys reach this spot till this spot?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, thank you for confirming. So now, as we have multiple things here, options. So we'd like to understand what is this file. So basically, if you want to create a new notebook, you can create. If you want to create a just markdown file means just to write some like if you have known the Confluence page, right? How we have the web page where we can type in to maintain the documentation. So similarly, Markdown helps. And Python file. So this is not the Python file. Whatever we are opening here and saving it, it is IPython. I mean IPYN. So it will be saved if I will show you. So if you save notebook as, you'll have options whether you need to store in IPython notebook or we can save. So you can have the save and export notebook as in multiple formats, right? And you can click on download also, that will get downloaded. And you can save this file as py file also, but I prefer because I'm maintaining certain documentation here, and a Python file will not, I mean, will have comments, but my purpose is to have this in IPYNB. So that's why I'm following this. And what else we need to know? Yeah, that's all pretty much. And this is save button. If you edit something and if you want to save, you can click on this, or Control S will save this thing. And this we call it as cell, a cell where we can type a code or we can type any text, right? If I want to have the text, then I will be clicking on Markdown and then I will be writing the text. So text we can write as we are discussing, right? A heading and subheading. So if I write single hash, this is level 1 heading. If we execute, we'll be able to see it's in bigger font. And if you want level 3 subheading, you'll give 3 hashes. And of course, we need to change it to Markdown, 3 hashes. And this is level 3 heading. And if you want to emphasize something, right, then you can write tuple star. I'm in bold. And it has to be marked down. You can see it is in bold. And if you want to highlight something, enclose. And again, it is also one of the format to show in bold and enclosing in paragraphs. And if you want some numbering, right, you can have one. And getting started with Python. And if you press enter, the numbering automatically comes. Numbering has come automatically, like in normal Word documents, right? So we can have the text. So in each cell, I'm writing the code. So this is how it is different from all the IDEs. Normally in the IDE, there will be a text page where we'll type complete code and we'll execute. But Python is interpreted and run line by line. So that's why Jupyter Notebooks gives that flexibility where I can write one line and execute. And everything will be stored in the memory. And if you save, then it will be stored in the hard disk. And yeah, so basically these are the basic things which we need to know in Jupyter in our documentation side. Let's suppose I am creating this for tutorial, right? So I'm interested to add some videos. So I like this video and I want this video to be part of the Jupyter Notebooks. Then I will click on share and I will take the embedding and I can click on this copy. It will copy the embedding, right? And I can simply go here and embedding is a HTML language. So I write HTML and I paste this, and when I execute it, this is markdown. Uh, okay, it's not markdown. It's a part of code only, but there should not be any space. And the YouTube video, the frame, complete YouTube frame has come in here, and you can start playing the video from here itself. So basically you can create a end-to-end tutorial out of this single Jupyter Notebooks by keeping the documentation, by keeping the code, by keeping the videos, and also we can keep images and all those stuff. Is it clear till now? Any doubts?
Yeah, Prashant, how you remember like these syntaxes for like you enter percentile like enclose.
Yeah, based on the practice only. And anyways, I will be sharing this notebook to you guys, right? So you guys able to practice it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any further questions? Okay. So if I mean, let's discuss about this statement. We need to understand more. Okay. So as someone asked also, right, what are the reserved keywords? So print is one of the reserved keyword. In Python, it has been defined that print keyword has to be used for this purpose only. So we cannot have any other identifiers with the name print. If we use, then the compiler will get confused and also it will throw some errors. And so let's try to understand. So why I'm using brackets and what I'm writing in between, all those stuff we'll try to understand. So print is a function, and print function what I meant to be. So it starts with bracket and ends with bracket. And whatever inside I pass, we call this as a parameter. So for print function, I'm passing a parameter. And this parameter type is string. How I'm saying it is a string? In Python, right? Anything encloses with double quotations is a string. And print accept a parameter of type string. And then what it will do? It will just display this message in output console. And as I said, right? So it is accept string and encloses with double quotations. Not only string can be in Python, string can be represented in single quotations also. Okay, here I'm using this already, right? So we can write an escape character. So what happened here? Like as I'm starting single quotations here, and I had single quotations in between data also. It is thinking that the string starting and ending here only, and this is something extra garbage thing. So that's why it was throwing error. So now with the help of backslash, I'm specifying that to Python that this is not something for you. This is for internal data. So what we call this backslash is escape character. So if I want to escape a character from Python kernel, right? Then I will be using this backslash. And anything encloses between single quotes, also a string. And anything encloses triple single quotes, also a string. Or anything.
But what is the difference, Prashant? Like if you are double quotation,
I will come to that. So even triple double quotations also is a string. Now why we have these many types, as I just need to represent a string, why we need these many things, right? That is the question Madhu asked also. So I mean, if you have observed, I have started the statement here and ending here. How Python know the statement I have ended here, right? So the thing we need to observe here is Python is simple language, and it is how simple it is, right? It will understand any new line character is a new line of code. So if I write like this, so I'm writing 2 lines of code. This is second line of code. If I execute, it has executed this line, and afterwards it has executed this line also, right? So the next line will be treated as the next line of code in Python. And coming to why we have different types of quotations, right? So if I have any sentence in a paragraph or any multiple line thing, right? Then it will throw an error. In order to represent a multi-line strings, we need to use this double quotation, I mean triple double quotations things. So I can write, I am in second line. I am in third line. And if I execute, if you see, the format also is captured in it. The tab spaces are captured and the new line also captured, and a multi-line strings I can pass in triple single quote or triple double quotes. Is it clear?
Yes, Prashant. Like
Yeah.
you are saying, right? Single triple quotes or double triple quotes, we can pass multi lines with everything, right?
Correct. That is right.
But yeah, like we have, if it is working same single triple quotes or double triple quotes, like why we
Yeah.
need two again?
So it's specifically mainly for developer friendliness,
Okay.
and it is very flexible to developers. Like whichever easy for developer, they will use that thing. So mostly where we use, right? If I have some single quotations in my text, I
Okay.
will use the double quotations. That is the best approach, right? If I have
Okay.
double
Yeah. Yeah.
quotations inside the data, then I will use single quote as a starting and ending. I mean, that is not the big use case I'm saying. I'm just saying like it's all comfort.
Yeah. Got it.
And basically there is, yeah, for multi-line strings is the only thing we use. And is it clear? Any doubts, guys?
I'm good.
I don't have
Thank
any.
you.
Okay, thank you for
Slash n
confirm.
can also be used, right, for the next line.
Can you repeat that?
Slash n, if we keep also, it can keep to the next line, right?
Yes, yes, correct. That's true.
So both will be used. I mean,
Yeah, I
this way
mean,
as
it's based on the requirements, right? So how we want to use, and we can use it. There is no one strict approach. It's all developer friendliness. We can use slash and slash t also in between, or else I can directly add those new line and tab also. It's all user friendly.
okay.
Now
Within the
we
single quotations, we can use paragraphs. Right?
no, in order to use paragraphs multi-line, right? We need to use triple single quote or triple double quotes. That is the main difference. Okay, as there are no questions, so I was talking about identifiers, right? So identifiers, I can give. I mean, till now we just saw a print statement, how we can print, and you can understand how simple Python is, right? I haven't. I mean, if we see Java code or C++ code, where I need to declare many things and specify many things before I print it. Now in Python, I haven't did anything. Like I just wrote print and it is just started working. Right. So that is one of the. I mean, that is the reason they say as Python is simple. And I was talking about identifiers, and Python is purely object-oriented language. I will explain what is object, class, all those stuff in further classes, but I want to say anything we write in Python, those are objects. Let's suppose if I want to capture a family information. So let me put a markdown. if I want to capture a family info. Example, like I need to capture name, height, let's not hide, age, gender, right? These are the things I want to capture. So in this case, if I want to save this information, I need to have an identifier. We call it as variable. So this variable name, as we discussed in the slide, we have certain rules where I cannot use the keyword, right? And where I cannot start with the number. I cannot have spaces in between. I cannot have special characters. So these and all we need to keep in mind. I can give a variable name called name. And equal to operator specifies that whatever value I'm passing, it has to be assigned to this variable. I can say name as Dinesh and age as 28 and gender as male. If I execute, it is not printing anything. So one thing we need to understand, if it is not printing anything, it has executed successfully. If it is showing something, then that means we got some errors, right? So now this data is stored in this variable. Let me show you. So print, I want to show you the name. And if I execute this, it will show Dinesh. And as I specified earlier, print function will take input as a string, and name is a string data type, right? Because it is storing a string in it. So that's why I'm able to print it. And if I print age, right, it will also get printed. The reason being, age is integer number, right? But still that will be auto converted into string and it will be printed here. Is the variable part storing it into a variable? Is it clear? It is similar to all the programming languages, but
Yes.
yeah,
So
thank
I
you for
have a
yeah.
question, Prashant. So if you put again, if you create another variable with the same name equal to some name, will that work or it will give you an error?
So that is the flexibility in Python. It will work. It will just override the value.
Oh, okay.
So a couple of things we need to understand here. One thing is in all the other programming languages, for any variable if I'm using, I need to specify the type. So there are two steps in creating a variable. In other programming languages, first I need to declare, then assignment. Declare and assignment. These are the two things we need to do. But in Python, declare and assignment both happens at runtime. When I did this, right? When I did this, declaration will be happen that name is a variable. And also it will get assigned with the value Scott. And also it will be declared with string type. Let's see the type of the variable. We can see that it is a string data type. Nowhere I have mentioned or informed Python that name is a string data type. But in runtime, it will understand what value it is storing. Then it will be saved in that data type. So declaration and assignment happens together in the same line. And as Lakshita asked, right, I can change the value. not only value, I can change the data type also. It will not complain anything. And if you want to see what is there in name and what is the type, right? You can see in name now the value 8 is saved because I have used the same identifier, so it is overriding the value. And the type also automatically has converted from string to integer. Is it clear, guys, till now? Any questions?
Yeah, Prashant. These are the variables, right?
Yeah, these are
So
variables.
we are changing variables. We can change, like we can override the value. If you are not allowing to override the values, means like we have constants in this of the Python.
Yeah, we have it. We'll discuss that little bit later. But for now, you try to understand the variables, how the values, right?
Yeah.
So how about date data type, Prashant?
Everything, like everything will get changed if we change it.
So if we give date equal to some date, with do we need to give with quotes, and then it will take the data type as date?
So let's see. So date type, right? It is not a direct
String
way.
or yeah,
We need
yeah,
to
yeah.
use certain modules in order to achieve the date. When we discuss the date time module, at that time we can. I will show you.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course, like we are yet to come to the types and all. We are just trying to understand how to access Jupyter and
Oh, yeah,
with little bit about variables. Yeah,
okay, thank you.
we'll discuss that. Yeah, sure. That is very much important concept though. Yeah, coming to yeah, and if you have observed, there are numbers are coming here, right? What are these numbers? Are these numbers are represent the order of execution. So let me execute Scott now. If you see, this was 17 and this is 18. That means because even though it is providing the flexibility to run line by line, I no need. I mean, I need to have the track which line got executed when. So if I execute this statement, what will be the answer? What will be the value? Any
19.
guesses?
I think 19, right?
So if we execute, it will be Scott and string. Yeah, the number is 19. That's correct, Scott. And the values will be Scott and string. But the person who is reading this code, right? Name is Scott, that is fine, string. But we have changed the value of name, right? But why it is coming as Scott?
Because we
That
have
Because
overlap
run
with
we
the
put
name
line
cell.
18. Like, yeah.
It was overlap wise. It's okay. Yeah, that's right. Whatever you said. So the order of execution matters. So after this line, we have executed this, right? So 16, 18. Now we understand this has executed in the latest, right? So that's why the latest one will have the value in it. Is it clear?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we saw putting the variable value. Now we'll see how we can display a value along with a particular string. So for that, we need to know one thing is the comma operator. So what I'm specifying is, what is this? Like, it is not meaningful if I specify like this, right? The name of the person is, now this looks meaningful, right? So I mean explaining what it is actually. So how I'm using together, so normal string, comma, and a variable. So, and Python will automatically add a space after the string and print along with this. So basically this is called concatenation. We are adding a variable value to the existing string. Is it clear? Did we understand what is identifier and how we can print that identifier and how we can change that identifier, right?
Yes.
Instead of Scott, we add our names.
Can you repeat that, Dinesh?
Instead of Scott, we can add our name.
Yeah, I mean, we can assign whatever name we want, right? Before the print statement name, we can assign anything, right? And we can have this. Slowly, I will explain some more concepts also, but for now, try to understand this is how we can use the identifiers. And also, I just spoke about one of the identifier, which is variable. We will be using for functions and classes also soon. Now let's try to understand expressions and operators. So let me open the expressions and okay. Yeah, let me put a heading, right, to show. I mean, I will not spend much time on this basic stuff unless if you have any questions. And for because this I will be sharing you guys, so I'm putting some headings so that you will understand what is what topic we are discussing, right? So expressions is nothing but we can use operators, right? What operators we have: plus, minus, divided by, multiplication, these things, right? So I can add a number to a number, right? And two things again we need to observe. One thing is, if we write this 6 plus 6 in any other IDE, right, it will not run at all. It will fail because 6 plus 6, it doesn't make sense. So what I'm doing is I need to specify it as Jupyter Notebook gives a flexibility that whatever output is to present in the console. So ideally I need to use print 6 plus 6. So Jupyter automates the few stuff for developer friendliness. So that's why both are giving the same output. But if I write just this, Jupyter Notebook automatically, I mean, by default, it will assume as I'm trying to print this number and it will print it. And expressions operations. So, I mean, it's all basic stuff. We can have division, right? And we can have multiplication and addition. And we will be able to see it. So this is how the expressions we need to use. And the important thing which we need to know is, if I do this, what will happen? What is the answer?
Get an error.
Yeah, we
Divide by
cannot
zero
divide.
error.
Yeah. So basically it will throw an error. This is how we can see the errors. So Python will clearly specify where the error is happening, and we don't need to focus on whole stuff. We can just read the last line, then we'll be able to understand what is the issue with the code, and division by 0. So basically we cannot divide any value with the 0, right? So that is what it is showing. And if I want to see the time of execution of my code, right? Then there are some magic functions, magic words in Jupyter, and whatever we are seeing, right? This percentage HTML, right? So these won't work in other IDEs. These are for especially for Jupyter Notebook. Once we get into other IDEs, we'll discuss about those IDEs also. Try to remember. So that's why I'm specifying here. And if I write any code, right, then it will print the outputs of the things what I'm printing, and also it will specify how much time it is taking. And coming to the thing, so how we can use this, I can operators, right? Let's suppose if I have, I mean the calculator application, right? I can pass two numbers and I can perform the addition. And I can print addition of two numbers, A plus B. Then I'm going to get this answer. Addition of two numbers, right? Let's suppose if I have, instead of numbers, two strings. It's okay not to use names. I am broken. So what will happen is it will concatenate. The same operator with the numbers it will add. If it is string, it will concatenate the strings. And is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Okay. So let me show, as someone was asking, right? So what I can do is I can add \n is also a escape character to specify to Python that after printing this stuff, I need a new line, and then it will be printing the next things. And if I want a tab, then I can use escape character, this one. So with this, I'll be able to add a tab. So why we need to learn all this stuff? Because we need to, I mean, once we write the Python programs, right, we need to represent the output in a very nice way so that the managers will understand what is the output we are getting in a proper way. Even for the client representation also, we need to have the proper information as output. And also it is not only for them, it is for us to print the log in a nice way where we will be debugging our code in order to see the log and understand the flow. And we have looked into some operators, right? And expressions and operators, and Like in expression operators, we have multiple types, like arithmetic and comparison logical operator, right? So the one we saw just now, addition, subtraction, multiplication, right? Those are belongs to arithmetic. So let me. So let's. Where is this? Yeah. So here I will write a subheading: arithmetic operators. It has to be marked down. Arithmetic operators, right? And in arithmetic operators, we have floor division also. What are the floor division is? So I have A value, B value, right? Excuse. Let me take some values differently. So let me take 4 and A by B. I have 5. So let me take some other value. If I have 10 by 4, it is 2.5, right? So what is floor division is A double / B. What it will do? It will round it off to the floor. And if I want to perform exponential thing, right? Let me put floor division. This is marked down, and if I want to perform exponent, then A into B, it is multiplication. If I want to exponential, A double star, I mean double multiplication, and B. This way, right? I can have exponential 10 power of 4. This is quite simple thing, but we need to know. So that's why I'm covering it here. And this is about arithmetic operators. And we do have comparison operators. Let's see. Comparison operators. So comparison operators, right? So till now we saw A equal to 10, B equal to 4, equal to, right? So in order to check the comparison operator, first we need to see the equal to. This is equal to what we will be writing is A equal to B. Let's see. I mean, before this, for you to understand, let me print A comma B, and I will specify A is this, and I can have multiple strings in between. B is this. You understand what I'm doing here? In print, I just put this as a string and add this string to this, and it has been added, and to again adding this string, and all these 4 things will get concatenated and will be printed as the output. Just to show you what values I have. So as A equal to 10 and B is 4, if I check whether A is equal to B or not, is what the check I'm doing here. So basically the good is to add the print, right? And let me take another value, which is C, and the output of the comparison operator is Boolean, false or true. Be equal to. If I write this, right, what will be the output?
Error.
Right? So basically we need to use the comparison operator, which is A equal to B equal to C, which gives me by comparing whether equal to or not. And in the same way, if I want to check whether both are not equal or not, right, then I will be using not equal to, which is instead of double equal to, I will use exclamatory mark, and it will say true because it is not equal to 4, right? And we do have greater than and less than. So I can check whether A is greater than or B. Less than. Greater than or equal to. Less than or equal to. And A equal to C. B, right? Can someone tell me like what will be the output?
True, false, true, false, true.
Yeah, that's right.
I have a small question, Prashant. So,
Mhm.
can we run all the cells at a time?
Yeah, that's a good question. So as we are running cell by cell, here we have double forward icon. What this icon do is it will restart the kernel. That means it will flush up all the memory and it will start from the starting to end till ending.
Okay, so it automatically runs from starting to end, start to end.
It will run, but one concern is once it reaches to the error statement, it will stop running.
Oh, okay.
If our code
Makes sense.
is error prone, then we can this feature is useful. Otherwise, it will start running and it will stop till the error message and it will not run further.
Yeah, makes sense.
And if we are not seeing number here as a star, right, then that means the statement is running state. Let me do this. If you see, all are in stars, so that means all are running. It will run. So it has ran 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the eighth line it got error. So further there is no number or star anything. That means it has been not run. As I haven't run, so if I execute this line, what will be the output?
Error.
That's right. So it will be throwing an error because Python doesn't know, this kernel doesn't know what is A. Because A and B we have defined somewhere here in this line. This is not executed. As we are not executed, we don't have variables called A and B. So that's why we'll not be able to see this A, B.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So basically what we can understand with the comparison operators, the output always will be What will be the output of our comparison operators?
Boolean.
Yeah, the Boolean, and which is true or false. And coming to the logical operators. So logical operators is, I no need to explain. So it is, so if I execute like, so one thing you need to observe is in Python code, if I want to write some text in between code as a comment, right, I can use with the help of hash. And if I want to add multi-line comments, I'll be using / star and something and something. Multi-line. So I mean, there are multiple ways. The one way is this triple quotes thing, right? This is also comments. If I write, it will just print that. It will not execute as a code. And logical operators, right? So oh yeah, I mean, these things we need to know. I will show this. Yeah, let's suppose I have written the code in two cells, cell 1 and cell 2. If I want to have the code which is in the cell 2 also in the same cell, if I want to merge these cells, right, what I will do is, first I will select a cell, I will click on escape, and uh, escape, and you click on Shift M, then it will merge the code. And if you execute, everything will execute it in one step. Why we need to run in separate cells? Why we need to merge? Because during debugging or during understanding the code line by line, we'll be writing line by line in code in Jupyter. And once we understand that the code is working fine and this code is good to deliver or good to use, then what I will do, I will select all these things by clicking on Shift, and I can select, I can click on Shift M, then it will merge all the cells into single cell. Then I can execute the code in single line. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, so we are discussing about logical operators. And so the logical operators is nothing but we have this and or conditions, right? And or operators like so logical or and logical and. So if I mean, I can write the print statement, right? Let me assign A equal to 10, B equal to 20. And I can write a couple of conditions here. I mean, couple of booleans, right? So a greater than b, output will be a boolean, and a equal to b. So both will fail. And if I want to understand with the proper example, right, then I need to give c equal to 20 and b equal to c and a less than c. So that means true and true will be true. And the combination of true and false will be always false. Similarly, we have the or. So we can have or. Anything one statement becomes true, then it will be true only. I'm not explaining in I'm not spending time here because all we know all this stuff. So I'm just revising the stuff. Stop me in between if you're not able to understand anywhere. And we do have logical operators, not operator. So if I want to print opposite, right, to the what it happens. So can anyone tell me what will be the output of this?
True.
True, yeah.
That's right. So it will be true. And the good approach, right, to write these kind of using the and or operators, right, is with brackets. Always, as this condition is something different and this condition is separate, right? So that's why we always need to use brackets to specify, even though the answer will not change, but this is the better approach. Even in these brackets, we can write a complex, very big condition also, and it works. So output of this whole expression and output of this whole expression together will be passed to the AND operator, and then the output will be coming to in the console. Is it clear?
Yes.
So this is about operators what we have, and we do have arithmetic operators. So arithmetic operators we just saw, right? Demo we saw, arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical operators we saw already. And so yeah, basically, I don't want to add more stuff. We looked into the known things only, but we looked via Jupyter Notebook by running these things. So let me run this stuff so that I can pass you on this notebook as a classwork. And for today, what we have learned, based on that, I'm gonna give the homework to you guys. I will be uploading and I will be notifying you. The basic stuff only we looked into, but still I want you to do the homework. And what we have discussed, I will just quickly recap. So we have looked into the identifiers and what are the naming conventions we need to follow, like variables, functions, classes, right? What is the naming conventions we need to follow? And we have seen how we can store different type of literals in variables, right? We need to use these terminologies, literals, variables, kind of stuff. when we are doing the interview, right? So that's where the differentiation between the normal person, between experienced person varies. So the terminology we need to be using. So this is literal and this is a variable. I'm assigning a literal to a variable with the use of equal to operator. So this small thing I can explain in this three technical words: literal, variable, and assignment operator, equal to operator. And we have seen the operators like a comparison operator, arithmetic operator, and logical operator in Python, right? If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
I think I'm good.
Okay, good to know. So as we have some time, let me share my screen. One of the information. Yeah. By any chance, do you know, guys, like where is our Gmail is stored?
Google server.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the assumption is like when we have installed Gmail in our mobile app, we assume that the emails are getting stored in our local app, right? But it's not the case. It is the user interface. It's just an user interface to show what is there in the server, basically. And as someone mentioned, right, it is in Google server and it is a cloud server where this data is stored, the emails. So let
Can we set
me,
this as SMTP server or IMAP?
yeah, that is also possible. Let's look into the in about locations. So, I mean, these are the data centers locations in the world, like where the Google data centers are present. So country wise, we can see, right? And we'll be able to see where and all the data centers has been placed for Google Cloud, basically. It is available in 42 regions. And yeah, so we never know the server, the email ID which is hosted. If I'm accessing from India, we doesn't know whether the server is hosted in US or any different country. So all these countries are well connected and just milliseconds away, it is accessible. And the question to you guys is, does anyone know the address of any data center?
We shouldn't.
Yeah. So these data centers address is very confidential information, which is not publicly shareable. And even though, I mean, anyways, they are in physical location, right? Data centers, even though the name says cloud, but still they are present in physical location. So few people who are living around that location might be knowing it, but still if they try to publish it, the companies spend lot of data, I mean lot of money to block those information, because it has to be highly secure. Let's see how the data center looks like. This is how the data center looks like with a lot of machines. So how we do have a CPU in our home, there are a lot of CPUs. And as I was saying, like not only Google, even Azure or AWS, right? They will not publish their exact address for the security reasons. And even though in the website we saw, right, regions, all the stuff, those are very broad level, which city till that we'll be able to understand, but we will not be knowing exact address. So yeah. And the kind of security they provide in these places, right? There are 6 layers of security. Not one layer, it is 6 layer of security. If you want to reach the server room, you need to pass the 6 layers of securities. Few will be retina checks, few will be thumbprints, few will be access cards. So all kind of access we need to go through, pass through, and we need to, we'll be able to get the opportunity to see it. And for Azure data centers, like Azure or Google GCP or AWS, right? They give opportunity to their employees once a while to get to see these things, and there will be an escort, and they will take them to show these data centers. And only server maintaining people will be allowed to these data centers. And yeah, let me ask this. Do you guys know any weird location where the data center is stored?
Arctic and Antarctica, these are the places mostly where to get it done.
Right. So one of the weird space is water. So they call this submersible data center, where Azure has done the experiment and they launched it. The project name called Natik, I think, is an experimental prototype designed by Microsoft to deliver data storage and processing capabilities to the users in the Scotland's islands. So islands are little far, right? The connectivity wise, everything will be little tough for them. So in order to provide services, so Microsoft has done this, and they do have the data centers in submerged in the water also. And so these are shipping containers, like it has just one connectivity, and these containers can be taken to one place to other place, and if any island is in need, right, they can just ship easily, and they can install this data center. They just need a power supply, and it can be able to transmit via the optical fibers, power supply and optical fibers as the input. And one more weirdest location I see is underground, as you mentioned, like one of the place in ice related. Banov data center, I feel the name. So like it looks similar like super villain, like Hollywood blockbuster movie. So but in reality, it is one of the most secure and well protected data center in the world. I think it's Banov data center, I think. Yeah, so it's good to learn some new things. Okay, any doubts, guys? If you, this is what I thought to cover for today. And if you have any questions, stay back, or otherwise feel free to drop off.
Thank you, Prashant. I'm good. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye,
good
guys.
day.
Bye, Prashant.
Bye. Any questions? Are we good to end the session? As there is no response, assuming that we are good, and I'm ending the session, guys. Thank you.